going on, guys? It's Red Fox back again with another Bleach video. Been a while since we've done one of those. And sorry I haven't uploaded in a while. I was making a video for my gaming channel, link in the description down below, and not only did the video itself take a while to make, but I was plagued with PC issues towards the end of the project as well. It's a Skyrim challenge run, a good old can you beat style video, so if you think you'd be interested, be sure to give it a watch. In any case, I have another gaming video lined up on my schedule, but before I start working on that, I wanted to drop a video here. To make up for my 3-month leave of absence, I'm gonna be dropping a slew of videos ranging from viewer-requested videos, to general Baki content, to projects I've been working on for a while, and so on. But because I'm getting uber hyped about the upcoming release of the 1000-Year Blood War arc of the Bleach anime, I'm gonna start releasing Bleach videos alongside my normal content. More info at the end of the video. Anyway, let's get started with the video itself. Cue the intro. I really wanted to talk about Bleach again since it's been a long ass time since my last Bleach character overview, and both my video quality and my YouTuberiness is way better than before. Since the last character I talked about was Kenpachi Zaraki, today, because I'm super fucking hyped about the 1000-Year Blood War arc anime release in a couple weeks, I'm gonna be talking about Kenpachi Zaraki during the 1000-Year Blood War. Now just a heads up, this video will contain spoilers for the 1000-Year Blood War, so, don't watch this if you want to go into the new anime blind. But if you want to hear about the most badass version of the most badass character in Bleach, stick around. Kenpachi really gets a glow up this arc. I'm talking Shikai and Bankai. Anyway, let's get into the nitty gritty. I'll be talking about how he looks in the arc, how he acts, his backstory and what he does during the arc, and just how fucking strong he really is. Well, in terms of how the big man looks, he's still rocking the same fit he had in the Uncle Tsukishima arc. Still rocking the Black Air Force Super Saiyan 3 cut, lost the stupid fucking hair bells, and upgraded his bland-ass eye patch to a new cold eye patch. Basically, he's dripped the fuck out. As for his personality, he's still a Blood Knight, berserker type, real abrasive and wild, always looking to stir up some trouble and start some shit, but 3 things massively changed in his personality that I personally think made him even fucking cooler, which I didn't even think was possible. These 3 changes, which are all due to his battle with Captain Retsu Unohana, which I will explain and go into depth into later, are that he places a greater emphasis on respecting the title of Kenpachi, he's a smidge calmer, and he's much more focused. So not as fucking bonkers and not as totally wild as he was before, but still a berserker, and now I think he's even more dangerous. Think about it. Before he was just going nuts and lashing out at everyone and everything in every which direction, with no care to enemy or ally or whether or not he wins, just as long as he gets a good fight. Now he wants a good fight, but the end goal is always to win against specifically his enemies. He went from being like an intercontinental ballistic missile which explodes and reduces everything over a wide range to ash, to a kinetic missile, which has a massively decreased area of effect but wipes whatever it hits off the face of the planet. No ashes, no remains, just focused and targeted hyper-aggression until nothing's left. So during the actual events of the arc, Kenpachi is, to nobody's surprise, a fucking beast. Imagine his glee when a war is announced. Dude literally goes out and kills 3 Sternritter by himself. For those of you that don't know, Sternritter are like the Quincy's equivalent of captains. So man really just went out and killed 3 captain-level enemies like it was nothing. Unfortunately, after this awesome feat, he tries to pick a fight with Yuha, the old man Yama of the Quincy's, and gets fucking stomped. It's revealed at this point that Zaraki is among the 5 Soul Reapers that the Quincy's deem the most dangerous in the Soul Society, the 5 special war potentials, which consists of Ichigo Kurosaki due to his potential, Sosuke Aizen due to his spiritual pressure, Ichibei Hyosube because of his wisdom, Kisuke Urahara due to his means or his ability to prepare for anything, and of course Kenpachi Zaraki for his raw physical strength. Unfortunately, Yuha says that Zaraki is low-tier trash, and Zaraki has to be saved by the Captain Commander, then going into a coma after barely surviving. At this point, after Kenpachi wakes up, he's sent to the Muken, that black hole prison where Aizen is held, to settle the score once and for all with the first Kenpachi for training. the first Kenpachi being none other than Captain Retsu Unohana, real name Yachiru Unohana. See, back when the 13 court guard squads were first made and each captain was a heinous criminal used to enforce the laws a la Suicide Squad, Yachiru Unohana was the first Kenpachi, the first Soul Reaper to claim the title of Strongest. One day, when she was doing her rounds of slaughtering everyone in sight, she came across a little kid pretty much doing the same thing, using the sword of a Soul Reaper he'd killed, and he was sitting atop a mountain of corpses as he ambushed Captain Unohana. They fought and violently clashed until the young boy from Zaraki mortally wounded the Kenpachi by stabbing her in the chest. Because he almost killed the strongest enemy he'd ever fought and almost ended the most fun he'd ever had, the young boy from Zaraki began subconsciously limiting his strength, a horrible turn of events that Yachiru felt responsible for. Both combatants left the battle alive, but Zaraki's true strength would forever be chained down by subconscious circumstances, like how he lost to Soul Society arc Ichigo by just a hair, yet won against Neutra by just a hair despite the vast strength gap in foes in such a little time. It was because he always had the strength to defeat Neutra, he was just holding back. With it being time to settle the score and find out who the real strongest was, Zaraki took off his eye patch and fought full power from the get-go against Unohana, only to get violently stomped. Unohana was unimpressed by his maximum power at the current, using hidden daggers to attack him and mocking him for only using one hand to fight. He in turn mocked her for using underhanded tactics, but she disarmed him and claimed that he was so strong last time she didn't even get the chance to use underhanded tactics. Zaraki respected her and admitted that she was the only woman, the only person, to have ever made him happy. She showed her appreciation by stabbing him in the throat. Zaraki passed out and it seemed like it was all over, but what seemed like seconds later, he regained consciousness and they continued their fight. This is revealed to be because every one of the many times Unohana fatally wounded Zaraki, she healed him back to perfect health, and each time he nearly died, he came back stronger, regaining a portion of his former strength. Eventually, Zaraki fatally wounded Unohana and, while mourning her death, finally truly took up the mantle of Kenpachi. At this point, for the first time ever, he hears the voice of his Zanpakuto. Smash cut to one of the most badass fights in the arc. Kenpachi goes to save Yachiru Kusajishi, his adopted daughter whom he named after Yachiru Unohana, from Gremmy Thamyu, one of the most powerful Sternritter in the Quincy army who basically has the power of believe it, achieve it, where if he imagines something, it becomes real. The fight is quite long, and I don't think I can do it justice with just an explanation, but the entire fight consists of Gremmy imagining some shit to kill Kenpachi, Kenpachi surviving cause strong, and Gremmy being like, what the fuck, and doing it again. He tries a wall of guns and missiles, nothing works. He tries manipulating the environment, doesn't work. Eventually he literally summons a meteor that will wipe out the entire Seirete, and Kenpachi, like a fucking badass, activates his Shikai, Nozarashi, which makes his sword bigger than the Buster Blade, and he cuts the fucking meteor in half. Gremmy's like, fine, I will literally huck your ass into the vacuum of space. And Kenpachi, dead ass, just cuts through Gremmy's portal to space. Gremmy then tries to imagine himself being as strong as or stronger than Kenpachi and fucking explodes. GG no re. Kenpachi then goes to meet up with Yachiru post-fight, but she's nowhere to be found. Only her clothes are left. Remember that because it becomes an important plot point later on. Now, after having his ass handed to him about 100 times, he decides to play hero and save Squad 11 from 4 fucking Sternritters. Like, Mans is half dead and he wants to pick a fight with 4 captain-level enemies at once? Well, suffice it to say, Ichigo has to save him. He gets taken to Kisuke's lab and healed by Jushiro, where Kenpachi, for the first time ever, puts his duties as a captain and Kenpachi above his bloodlust, although only with the persuasion of others. Later on in the Royal Realm, after the Soul King has died, Kenpachi teams up with Mayuri and Nemu Kurosuchi to fight Sternritter and Schutzstaffel member Pernida Pargjaz? The left hand of the Soul King. For context, Schutzstaffel are the top 4 Sternritter other than the leader of the Sternritter, Jugrim Hashfalt, and the king of the Quincies, Yuha. Well, it doesn't go well for Kenpachi since Pernida is an extremely hacks-based character. Mayuri decides to fight Pernida without Kenpachi, and Kenny is forcibly removed from the battlefield. After recovering from the fight, Kenpachi gets to join another one of the best fights in the arc, Captains vs. Gerard Valkyrie. Notice how Kenpachi gets a lot of the best fights? Now, Gerard is another Schutzstaffel and the heart of the Soul King, and his ability is basically that he comes back to life every time he's killed, and every time he comes back he gets stronger. Furthermore, Gerard's sword Hoffnung is unbreakable and reflects damage. Kenpachi fights Gerard alongside Byakuya Kuchiki and Toshiro Hitsugaya, though even Toshiro can see that Gerard is Kenpachi's dream enemy, an enemy that can't die no matter how many times you kill them and will never be without a weapon. Kenpachi goes toe-to-toe with Gerard solo at first until being overwhelmed, at which point Yachiru Kusujishi returns, and in one of the most amazing scenes in the manga that I'm fucking ecstatic to see animated, reveals that she is his Zanpakuto spirit, and with that knowledge, he unlocks his Bankai. Everyone is shocked by Kenpachi's new power and appearance. He looks like a red-skinned devil with horns on his forehead with a beast-like demeanor. He's on all fours and is just grunting and growling, with his sword reduced to half its Shikai size. Yet Kenpachi's godly power is so overwhelming that, while Gerard is initially disappointed, Kenpachi beats him so badly, he's forced to activate his Volstanding, or his Quincy Bankai. Even still, Kenpachi is one-shotting Gerard and is exuding so much power, his attacks are destroying his own body. Toshiro joins, and together with Byakuya, they're able to defeat Gerard. Ken survives the war, and 10 years later, celebrates the promotion of the 13th Division captain with Yumichika and his new lieutenant, Ikaku. Now, as for his powers, he's still same old Kenny, just so much better. Still a master swordsman, but now has the level of a child that could defeat the first Kenpachi, but with all the experience and skill of an adult. Still a hand-to-hand expert, but now a hell of a lot stronger. His Ryatsu is still fucking insane, but now he's got enough to beat a high captain level enemy like Gremmy without even taking off his eye patch, and now he can even decently control his Ryatsu. His ability to resist and deal damage is now worthy and befitting of one of the 5 special war powers. His combat IQ is still as good as ever, even being able to figure out Gremmy's the Visionary ability despite having a brain smoother than marble. His strength at this point in the series is so vast, he's able to rip off the limbs of others that rival his power and even his own limbs with ease, as well as being strong enough to block or cut through literally anything at this point. He also knows how to stand on air like other Soul Reapers and can even use Shunpo, Flash Step now. Even with only the basics of Shunpo, his physical ability allows him to keep up with Shunpo experts like Byakuya, who was trained directly under Yoroichi. As Gremmy found out, he's also still unstoppable in durability and has infinite stamina, not stopping even when receiving fatal injuries, and at this point, fatal injuries are hard to come by for Ken. Finally, to finish up this character overview, let's talk about the focal point of Kenpachi's arc in this arc, Nozarashi. Nozarashi is Kenpachi's Zanpakuto, which releases to Shikai on the release command of Drink. It becomes a massive cleaver-like blade and, to nobody's surprise, exponentially increases his physical power. Shocker. Although, on top of just being able to cut through everything even better than before, it also allows him to cut through space itself. So he basically becomes a Dragon Ball character. Physical strength now beats hacks. As for his Bankai, which I have personally taken to calling Yachiru Kusujishi for obvious reasons, changes Kenpachi as well as his Zanpakuto. His skin turns red, his face becomes covered in a bunch of black markings, and he gets horns on his forehead like a devil. His sword, however, looks similar to how it does in Shikai, but it's shorter and jagged. At this point, he has become the ultimate Kenpachi Zaraki. He's a bajillion times stronger in every way, but has a complete mindless berserker disregard for his own life or condition. Well, that's it for Kenpachi Zaraki, the strongest Soul Reaper in the Soul Society, and his role in the Thousand-Year Blood War. To say the least, he was an absolute monster, dropping 3 Quincy's before even getting his final arc upgrade, but damn did he get a lot of love in this arc. We got to see the upper limits of his power, his true power, his Shikai, and even his Bankai. That's a lot of love for a man who mid-diffed everyone he fought with a normal Zanpakuto. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to let me know by leaving a like on the video. Subscribe if you like Bleach content or other anime content like Fate, Grappler Baki, Kengan, or JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and hit that notification bell so that you actually know when I'm uploading. Who do you guys want to hear about next? My current plan is to do people surrounding Kenpachi, so Captain Unohana and Lieutenant Yachiru, but if you guys want to see someone in particular, let me know. Also, just a heads up for those of you who are enjoying the Kengan Maximum tournament, while I'm covering Bleach content, the new parts will be after every 2 videos instead of 1. One scheduled or requested video, 1 Bleach video, and then a Kengan Maximum tournament video. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Red Fox, the Diamond Play Button aspirant, and this has been basically Kenpachi Zaraki, Thousand-Year Blood War Edition. Peace.